Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Viewers, you're on to Mikia TV's live interview show. This week, Africa Healthcare Development Trust, a UK-based charity, marks its 20th anniversary. With us today is the chairman of the charity, Dr. Ibrahim Hassan Jallo. Dr. Hassan Jallo is here to tell us more about the healthcare intervention of the charity in Africa, and of course, the activity to mark its anniversary, and a lot more on how you can participate. So, Doctor, welcome on board.
Thank you very much for having me, Dr. Ali. It's a pleasure.
Please, can you tell us a bit more about AHDT?
AHDT is a UK-based medical charity. The acronym AHDT means Africa Healthcare Development Trust. Now, this is a registered charity which takes care of healthcare interventions, as you said, in Africa. But our springboard of starting projects is actually in Nigeria, where we are primarily based. AHDT was started as an organization about 20 years ago. Exactly January 2002 was when we started the concept of AHDT. And the idea was then to try and see how we can help with all the healthcare challenges back home together with some of our local partners on the ground. So it's a medical charity based in the UK, mostly composed of doctors, but there are a lot of nurses and also other non-medical people joining. And it's something that we are going to encourage people, because we also need other skills to help us develop the activities of the charity.
You have mentioned people apart from doctors that are part of this charity, and you have mentioned some of the works you've been doing in Nigeria. Particularly, what part of northern Nigeria you've done projects, and what kind of projects have you been doing?
Okay, when we started about 20 years ago, actually it's more like an experiment. What should we do? We started initially actually with just collecting pieces of equipment and kits that we get from a hospital where we work, and we put them together with medical books and medical journals and started shipping them to Nigeria. This was how we started. And then we realized that actually this is very, very challenging. We had very meager resources, and the impact of the ground is very, very minimal. For example, one of the examples I'll give you was there was a consignment that we had a whole cargo that was shipped, and it took almost 6 months before it could clear from the ports in Nigeria. So we sat down and said, look, probably this is not a good idea. What should we do? Then we started another chapter in our history, which is health education, in terms of choosing particular diseases or health challenges that we could partner with people on the ground and organize educational sessions. So, for example, we did a HIV workshop during which we produced leaflets, and we participated with our local partners in Maiduguri, which is in the northeastern part of Nigeria. And that went very, very well. So we started doing a lot of that. And then we said, okay, we've done that. What do we do next? The next step was we decided then to be having projects which are based in the hospitals. And that was for us the biggest step in terms of our activities. So about 15 years or so ago, we started having hospital-based projects, which means we have a team from here with all our kits and equipments that we go to Nigeria in conjunction with our local colleagues on the ground. We will go to a hospital after the agreement of the authorities, whether it's the local government, the state government, and whoever is in charge of the hospital. We go with our team, with those on the ground, we implement projects. And at the moment, we've got 2 types of projects. We've got a 1-week project, which we call the minor project, and 2-week project, which we call a major project. And what that means is we go there, we help them run their clinics, we help them run their ward rounds. We do a lot of surgeries, so from cataract surgery, from hernia surgery, from goiters, and all other medical and surgical interventions, on top of treating other chronic diseases like diabetes, like hypertension, like HIV, and so on and so forth. The reason why we've got two sets, 1 week and 2 weeks, is it gives us time to rotate within the team, because this is a charity and not an NGO. The time we put in is what we give freely. We are not paid to do this. It's different from NGOs who already have got money that they take from Europe and America to go to Nigeria and pay people to help them do it. This is just internally generated revenue within us that we go and implement, and that is what we've been doing. And at the background of that, we do a lot of teaching and skills transfer. So that is what we do mainly now. And we're basing our expertise going forward about teaching and training nurses, doctors, midwives, and so on and so forth. So this is what we are doing at the moment. And the more we do, the more we get the demand. People hear it and they say, okay, can you come to me and help me do it in my hospital? So far, we've done more than about 6 to 7 states in northern Nigeria. Some of these states we've been twice, but to different parts of the state. The plan is eventually to go through the entire states of Nigeria and also expand it towards Africa. And eventually, the mission is we should be able to do this kind of projects in any part of the continent, provided we get the local support from our colleagues on the ground.
Although you've somehow answered the next question I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask, what should we expect from you? Over the last 20 years, you've done so much. So obviously, we should expect a lot more from you. What should we expect?
Well, the expectation is obviously we want people to know who we are, what we do, and how we operate. Because there is a lot of NGOs in Africa and the same in Nigeria. And the difference between our modus of operandi with theirs is that they already have their own set funding, which they take along and they implement their projects. We also have to source our resources internally within us, for example, through membership subscription or through individual philanthropic organizations or individuals. So, for example, if you want us to go to your village, for example, in your local hostel or to your state capital, what we say is, okay, we need to have an agreement first. Let the authorities on the ground agree that we are coming. Let us agree on the week that we are going to spend, or 2 weeks, depending upon the resources available. And then we have a plan going forward. We have, for example, been invited when we went to Gumel by a very philanthropic individual. What he did was to provide the funding, and he spoke to a local organization. They've got a Gumel Foundation, for example, that provided the logistics for us to go and work. And that is the basis by which we do our work. So if anybody listening is interested in us going to their hospital and do a 1-week project or 2-week project, they can have a dialogue with us quite easily, and we can give you the information about the website maybe later.
Now that you are celebrating your 20th anniversary and you are marking with an event, I know it's going to be a big event. How are people going to register for that event, and how would that event be like in terms of registering, the course, and the kind of events you're organizing? Can you take us through that a bit?
Alhamdulillah, on the 19th of June, that is roughly about almost 10 days from now, we intend to have a virtual anniversary, 20th anniversary celebration. In fact, before COVID, the plan was we are going to have it live, where we get a venue somewhere within this country, we invite dignitaries and get it going. But because of COVID, it's all going to be done through the internet via Zoom. What that means is there's a 2-hour program on the 19th of June, which starts at 11 o'clock up till 1 o'clock. We've got a set program, and we've invited distinguished speakers, both from Nigeria as well here. For example, one of our patrons who has supported AHDT for so many years is the Ethonupe. He is one of the invited guests who is going to present to us briefly to talk about how our Gumel project, or how our Bida project, for example, has benefited his community and his people, and also to thank us for that, but also for us to appreciate his support. And there are also another speaker who is a colleague of ours, Professor Umar Dan, who is a pediatrician in ABU Teaching Hospital. He's also been somebody who has been with us from the beginning, and he's like our backbone in terms of support we get from ABU Teaching Hospital, in supplying the doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers to help us do projects all across the northern region that we've covered so far. So that is kind of the program. On the UK side, I would also be presenting the history of AHDT as the current chairman of the organization, and I'll go through in more detail some of the projects that we've done. And there's also the other speakers that we've invited. For example, we've sent invitation to the Nigerian High Commission, and the expectation is that the High Commissioner would open the ceremony for us, inshallah. How to register is very easy. Our website is ahdt.co.uk. If you go there, it's very, very simple, user-friendly website that you can go. You'll find a whole section about the conference. If you click there, it takes you less than 5 minutes to register. It's free of charge. You're not going to pay anything. The reason why we encourage people to register through the website is so that we've got their own information. And if anything comes out, not only because of the celebration, but also in future, we can email them and say, this is what we're intending to do. Are you interested to join us? Or if, for example, we are going to go next to Nigeria after the COVID, then that is fine. We can send invite and say, look, we are coming to so and so state. Are you interested? Do you want to come and help us? Or if not, do you know somebody around that area who can come and see what we do? So that is the whole idea of why we want it to be registered through the website, so that we got the information that people may want to know about ADT going forward.
So why should people register if they can join you directly?
Exactly, for some of the reasons I've mentioned. It's once you register, we got your database, and we can tell you about upcoming activities of AHDT, whether it's in the UK or in Nigeria, because all our projects, although we are based in UK, all our projects are projects done in Nigeria, and somehow we covered most of the northern states. The next invitation we had before the COVID breakdown was in the southwest of Nigeria, a place called Abeokuta, which is in Ogun State. So after COVID, we look at the proposals, and if they meet the criteria for us to go, we'll go there and do a 1 or 2 weeks project according to the agreement. So that is the reason why I want people to register.
Thank you very much. I wish you a very successful celebration. Viewers, we are going to have a live streaming of the event on the day, so you can join us on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, and also put it on our website, Mikia TV. So join us live as we stream it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you.